Hi, welcome back. So I recently got into cross stitching and I've been stitching a bunch of small projects and quotes here and there, but I didn't know what I could do with them. So I figured out a way to make a sign with these mini projects. If you would like to see how I've done that, stay tuned. So first step is to sew around your artwork with a running stitch. I did that all around and making a few knots in between just so it's a bit stronger because this is what's going to be holding everything together later. So all you need today is your artwork, a piece of ribbon, and some scrapped fabric. It could be cut up from an old shirt or towel. The whole purpose is just to give the sign some structure. Then I folded the fabric to match it to the size of my sign. After that, you press down firmly along where you stitch the running stitches, and this will help make it easier to sew later. Next is deciding where your ribbon will go and how long it would be. After it's been set to a desired position, I sewed it onto my scrap fabric first to help keep it in place. Remember to sew one side in front and one on the back so that the weight can be evenly distributed when it's hung up. Okay, after I made the first running stitch, I find that I really like the look of the border on my sign, so I sewed a second running stitch on the inside just for decoration, but that's why you see two lines here, but all you need is only one for this technique to work. So a quick tip for those of you that don't know yet, there are special needles for cross stitching where it's dull and rounded on one side. I had to poke myself countless times before I found out that these needles existed. So if you're cross stitching now and you haven't gotten one, go get one now. They are a total game changer. Then starting from one corner of the sign, I tie a knot and start stitching loops through my running stitch. If you are doing this correctly, you will start seeing a sort of a candy cane pattern running around your sign. So I sew until a small pocket has formed at one corner and then I stuffed my fabric back into it. So here I made a mistake actually trying to be smart, trimming off the corners of the cross stitch. I thought that it would make it thinner and easier to sew together, but instead it's left the fabric more vulnerable and it started to frail as I'm trying to stitch it closed. So that's a lesson learned from me for you to not make the same mistake again. Now because my corners are already starting to frail, I had to reinforce it to make it stronger by stitching over the same corner a few times. So that's what you'll see me doing there. On the top, instead of sewing just along the running stitch, I pick up a bit of loose fabric as I go. This way the fabric won't fall and clump up inside later on. When you get to the ribbons, you just need to sew it together with the fabric. As you can see in this process, it's much easier because you've already held it in place earlier. Now you've reached the end of the other side and all you need to do is sew back and loop it in a few times to get the thread tucked in beneath your candy cane stitches and your sewing is done. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment below if you've done this technique before or if you have some other better ways of doing this. Since I'm pretty new to cross stitching too, I'd love to know. Stay happy, healthy, and wealthy. See you guys next time.